So today we're going to be going over the process for prospecting FSBOs off of Zillow. So first, obviously, we're going to go to Zillow.com. And now, what's an area where you would want to prospect? I usually say to start with a city so we can narrow it down.
Richmond, Virginia.
So we're going to go Richmond, VA. We're going to look for Zillow, okay? And then in the top corner here, we're going to go ahead to the for sale section. We're going to click this drop down here. And we're going to change it to just by owner. So we'll only want by owners. And then you can also, if you want, there's usually a, it's not showing it here. We'll just do for sale by owner. Sometimes there's make me moves as well. And then you want to set your price range. So that'll be kind of dependent on what you want to do, right, in a specific area. Mm-hmm. And then as you see over here, we've got the for sale by owners in this area kind of mapped out. Now, you can always remove the boundary if you want to go from there and you want to draw a circle. You just hit this draw button, and then you can kind of just draw this circle around Richmond and its suburbs.
Okay.
It's a horrible circle. And then you hit apply. And then over here on the right, you're going to get your list of for sale by owners. And they're typically ordered by newest to oldest. You can change that based on this drop down right here. I typically like to look at it from oldest to newest so you can see who has been on it the longest. So I usually go to the very last one down here. So as you can see, this one's been on there for 636 days, the 3240 Archdale Road in Richmond, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Now, that's a $369,000 house.
That's been why on it's Zillow. Not selling. You're never going to sell a house like that on that street.
Right. So, and it's also been on here for 2 years, so it might have come off. They might not be too serious anymore. But I always start with the oldest ones first just because they've been sitting and they might actually want help at this point. So we're going to click on the house and we're going to get a quick overview of the images of the house, the description from the for sale by owner themselves, right? Sometimes they'll go into great detail about the home, sometimes they won't. If you come down towards the bottom here, you'll actually be able to find the contact information. Give me 1 second here. Computer's a little glitchy today. So any listing provided by the owner is going to have the owner's information at the bottom of the screen. So you're going to go ahead and grab that phone number and you're going to be able to give them a call. Now, with a for sale by owner that's been on the market for some time, you want to start that conversation off like, hi, this is Beth. I'm with so-and-so real estate. I saw your home was on Zillow for about almost 2 years now. I was just curious, did you already sell your home or were you still looking to take offers on it? Now, when you start the conversation this way, you're gauging their interest in still selling because it's an older FSBO. You're gauging if they have already received any offers. And at the same time, you're also putting doubt in their mind that they've been on the market for far too long. Now, that conversation is going to go pretty much one of 3 ways right off the bat. No, I'm still taking offers. Yes, I've already sold it. Or no, it's just on Zillow and I had some issue where it won't come off of Zillow. Those are pretty much the 3 starting points to that conversation. Now, after you've asked that, the next question, just to be safe as a real estate agent, you want to ask, now I saw it was for sale by owner on Zillow. Is it still for sale by owner or is it currently listed or on the MLS contracted with an agent? You want to make sure you're asking that question just for your safety because sometimes it'll still be on Zillow as a FSBO, but they may have just signed an agreement with an agent and it hasn't updated and you don't want to be stepping on anyone's toes. So do you have any questions like with the opening or any thoughts about that, Beth?
No, I liked it. In fact, that was what I saw on that portion of the video that I looked at right before you and I talked was when you and Pat were doing the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you said.
Yep. So that's kind of the way I teach it. That's the way I was taught when we would prospect for sale by owners for agents. Obviously, intro was a little bit different. It was John calling for Beth Johnson's real estate office instead of you calling directly as the agent. Once you've confirmed that they're still looking to take offers on the home, that's where you want to get into your discovery questions. You don't want to jump right into the pitch of how you can help them sell your home. You want to gauge information. You want to find out their time frame. When are they looking to move? When are they looking to have it sold by? Are they in a time crunch? Do they not care when it sells? That's really going to tell you how you're going to take that conversation. The next thing is finding out their motivation and their pain. Their motivation and pain may sound similar, but they're actually completely different. If Sam is looking to move because he's going down to Georgia to be near his family, his motivation is that he wants to be closer to his family. His pain is that he hasn't been able to go down and see his family yet. You see how there's a little bit of a difference there? Whatever their motivation is, the pain is almost like their motivation plus whatever their current experience has been. So if they were listed with an agent in the past and it didn't sell, and now they're doing it by owner and it's not selling, their pain is clearly that they've had a horrible experience trying to sell their home, and they've had a horrible experience with maybe a buyer or maybe another agent that they worked with in the past. And so you want to get all of that information out by asking questions like, Sam, I know that you said you want to move down to be near your family, or even before that, it's such a beautiful home. What would make you consider selling it? Right? Oh, well, John, I'm actually going to be moving down to Florida to be near my grandkids. Oh, okay. So if you could get this house sold, when are you actually looking to be near your grandkids? Well, I was actually hoping to move last year, but it never ended up selling because I had this, experience with this agent, or it's been sitting on Zillow, or whatever their case may be. They'll tell you what happened, and that becomes their pain. Now we want to use their pain to drive our point of how we can help them get their home sold. So from here, you take the conversation as, Sam, look, I understand that you want to get this sold so that you can be near your grandkids, and you've clearly had a very hard time doing that so far. I want to show you how I can help you not only get your home sold, but put you near your grandkids a lot faster. Now, you're going to get some objections at this point. Well, I don't want to pay 3%. I want to just sell it on my own. I had a bad experience with my agent the last time. And this is where it's really good to go back to that prospecting playbook in your mastery course and to study the objection handlers and techniques that are in that book. Because when someone says that they want to save 3%, they're really saying that they have a certain number that they want to walk away with, and they're not going to sell it unless they can get that or close to that. And a lot of them don't realize that when you write it out on a piece of paper and show them, Sam, if I sold your home and you paid me my commission, this is what you would walk away with. Does that number work for you? 9 times out of 10, they say yes. 1 out of 10 times, they're going to be like, no, that number doesn't really work. And obviously, it wouldn't have worked out either way, because you know what you can sell it for. You know what they're going to take. It's just going to be a hassle at that point anyways. You can try to work with them, or, hey, you know what, why don't I follow up with you in another month and see if it changes. But for the most part, that's a huge question to gauge whether or not you actually want to work with them. And honestly, whether or not they're going to be capable of accepting an offer if they don't get exactly what they want, right? Any thoughts on that process so far? Any questions, Beth?
No, what I do have a question though, is where do I find the verbiage that you're using? Like, like, it's such a beautiful home. Why would you want to sell it? Where do I find those prompts? Is
Okay,
that
so
in the playbook?
yeah, so in that playbook, there's also for sale by owner scripts for agents to use. So you would simply want to log into your mastery course here, as I'm doing on my screen. And once we're in the mastery course, we're going to navigate down to the prospecting playbook. which is about halfway down here once my computer actually wants to load. So we're going to go into this prospecting playbook right here. And then we're actually going to use the Control F or Command F feature to search for FSBO. And as you
That's
can
right. You
see
told me
here
that
at the
yesterday.
beginning, that's what we were going over yesterday. You've got your listing lead source for sale by owners. This is a brief overview of targeting FSBOs, keeping in mind that FSBOs, are the queens and kings of research. You can either cold call them or send them direct mail, but mainly when we're going to be talking right now about cold calling. So we want to get down towards the questions that you can ask, which is in this section here. So if I scroll up a bit, you'll see that we're in the active effective questioning. And so through the sales process, it's very important to ask effective questions. Effective questions help pique customers' interest, establish credibility, create a sense of urgency, and obviously a lot more. And so as you go through this, you've got expired listing questions and you've got FSBO questions, like have you ever sold a home on your own before? How much did you say you were asking for the property again? Have you made any improvements to the home? These are all discovery questions that you can ask as you get into it with them. Then you've got your overcoming objections section. We're going to scroll down until we get to the script. So right here, we've got our first for sale by owner script, and there's a few of them in here. This one is, hey, I was looking for the owner of the address. I was looking at the property online and I was curious if you were still taking offers. So obviously that part right there is a baseline. It's not word for word what you need to say. It's a baseline. So I personally prefer to say, hey, I saw the property on Zillow. Like if you know you're looking at Zillow, I saw the property on Zillow and I was curious if you had sold it or if you were still taking offers, right? And then I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. My name is Beth Johnson. Is this John Lehman? Yeah, this is John Lehman. Real quick, John, let me tell you why I'm calling. My name is Beth Johnson with X Real Estate, and I saw your property online and noticed it was FSBO. So see how they kind of took my intro and it's kind of here in the middle part. So it's all about what you feel more comfortable with. And, I wanted to reach out to get some more information and see if we could help each other. You've probably noticed there's a lack of inventory and that's driving property values up. So it's actually a great time to sell. So that's dropping a value add into the conversation. So now we're at the point where we've confirmed that they're the home seller, that they are for sale by owner, and now we're asking, informative, or we're dropping informative information to prepare to ask informative questions like, what are you looking to net on this? How long have you been testing the market? Have you received any offers so far? Again, baseline. Now, one of my favorite questions is, it's a beautiful home. Why would you even consider selling?
Yeah, I
That's the
like that one.
easiest way to get the motivation out of them. Once they've told you your motivation, all you have to do is look at some basic facts like the property's been on the market for 2 years. If Sam's looking to move by his grandkids and he's been selling it for 2 years, I mean, the next best question to ask is, Sam, when were you actually looking to move? And they'll let you know, like, oh, I don't really care, or, oh, I tried to sell it and it hasn't sold. And, you can tell in their tone and in their pace if they're actually upset by the fact that they're not down there. So I always recommend going back to this prospecting playbook and looking at the different scripts that we have available for sale by owners and using them as a baseline, and then kind of mixing your own language in there as well, so that you don't just sound like a robot, right? You don't want to just go, it's a great time to sell. What are you looking to net on this, right? Those are examples of questions that you can ask there, but you want to make it feel more personable to yourself. Then once you've asked your discovery questions, you should know things like pain, motivation, when they're looking to sell, which is time frame. You want to know what they're looking to get out of the property. You want to look, obviously you'll know how long it's been on the market if it's on Zillow. You just want to confirm with them that it's been on for that long. And you also want to make sure that they understand that there's another way to do this. There's a better way to do this. And you do that by jumping into, quote unquote, your sales pitch, which is your your trial close. It's not your actual close, it's your trial close. The trial close is like this. The thing is, even in a hot market, if the property doesn't sell fairly quickly, John, usually 2 to 3 weeks, most homeowners will get lowballed. And I'm assuming the whole reason you're selling FSBO is to save on commission and get the most out of the property, right? That's an easy transition into handling the number one objection for sale by owners have by facing it up front. By saying, I understand that this is why you're doing it. You're not even asking them, right? You're saying, I know this is why you're doing it. Can you confirm this? In a very nice and polite way. And they will most times tell you, like, yeah, I want to save on commission. And then you get into, can I ask why you're selling in the first place? This is a gorgeous property, right? Identify the true pain and use that in your trial close. Like, Sam, I understand that you want to move down to Florida to be near your grandkids. If I was able to show you a marketing plan that could not only get your home in front of more qualified buyers, but actually net you what you were looking to walk away with for this property, it would at least make sense for me to stop out and take a look at the property with you, right? You always want to use words like right, okay, very assumptive. It's called an assumptive close. You want to kind of jump into that, because if you just leave it open-ended, like, hey, can I stop over? No, or yes. It's kind of 50-50. Most of the time they're going to say no. But if you go, it would make sense for me to come talk to you, right? Like, it's very hard for them to say, no, that doesn't make sense, because in their head it makes sense. Even if they want to object to it, it's a natural reaction to say that. And now you have the ability to go into your actual close and your actual, okay, well, I'm going to be in your neighborhood around X time tomorrow or X time. You always want to give them two options, right? You always want to give them time 1 and time 2, so that, again, it's not open-ended. You're able to make them choose one or the other. And the best part with that, even when neither of those times work, they almost feel obligated to tell you which time will work. So if I say, Beth, I know I'm going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow at 4, or I'm going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow. I could stop over around 4 unless 6 would work better. And then in your head that neither of those times work, you're going to go, nah, those wouldn't really work for me. Could we try like 7? Could we try like 8, right? Or could we do like 3? They're going to tell you when they're free, and you can kind of gauge more there. Now they're already into the conversation. They've pretty much already agreed to the appointment, even though you haven't set a time. Now it's even easier to generalize a time, right? But if I said, hey, Beth, I know I'm going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow. Can I stop over? You have the ability to say no. You want to take that ability, that opt-out, away from them by staying closed with your options. Okay?
Got it.
Now, obviously, as you go through this script, right, it goes through the entire process from start to finish. Like I was saying, if there was a way to get this property sold for the right amount, so you could insert motivation, insert pain, it wouldn't matter who got it done, right? So there's different trial closes in here. I would recommend reading through each of them and trying out which one fits you best. And then just making sure that you're following the process of the script, not reading it verbatim, but following the layout, right? Introduction. Is it still for sale? Is it still for sale by owner? Body. First paragraph. Introduction as far as why you're calling, why you're interested, how you might be able to help, and transition question. Why would you consider selling your home? Oh, that's why you would consider selling your home? Now you jump into your next body, paragraph 2, which would be discovery questions. Now, you don't want to just rattle off the discovery questions like an interviewer. You want to make it feel like a conversation, right? Listen, respond. Don't just keep talking over them. So, Beth, I'm going to have you right now pretend you're selling your home, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you some discovery questions. We'll pretend that I just clarified with you that, you're a for sale by owner. And then I'm going to say, Beth, this is an absolutely gorgeous home. I got to ask, why would you even consider selling?
Well, my wife and I are downsizing, and I started building a house back in February, and we're going to be moving in soon.
Okay, so you guys are building a house right now, and you're actually going to be moving in soon. How soon are you guys actually moving into the new home?
We're actually moving in the next 30 days.
Oh, okay. So like if you could get this home sold tomorrow, like that would be perfect, right?
Yeah, I really would.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know this or not, Beth, but even if you get an offer on the home that you like, typically the closing process does take about 30 days with the whole inspection, going to closing, negotiating, all of that process. So
Yes, I'm
obviously
very
you don't want to
aware.
be stuck with this home while you're moving into your next one, right?
Right.
See how I've diagnosed your pain right there? Your pain, your fear is having two mortgages or having two homes at the same time. I got to that conclusion by asking discovery questions based on your answers initially. The
Mhm.
next step I would take would be to go and ask a little bit more information about what you want out of the home. So, my next question after that naturally would be, and Beth, if we did get an offer tomorrow on this home, what would you actually like to walk away with? What would you like to net?
Well, I've got a lot of equity in the home, and I plan on paying off the loan that I have for my new construction. So, as you can see, I've got my house listed for 525. I really don't want to take less than 520 to net what I'm going to get.
Okay, so if you got that, you'd obviously take the offer immediately.
Yep, I would.
Okay, okay. Well, Beth, let me just explain a little bit more about who I am. My name's John Lehman. I'm with ULM Realty, and with ULM Realty, we're actually able to get your property out in front of more qualified buyers. Right now, you've had your home on Zillow for 636 days, and obviously now you're going to be moving very soon, so we need to get that in front of a different group. Would you say that you could agree to that?
Well, obviously, I haven't sold it, so I must be doing something wrong.
Right. So with Zillow, just so you understand, you're hitting a very small portion of the buyers that are out there. When you
Really?
actually
I don't believe you.
yeah, I mean, some buyers are going to go on Zillow to look at properties. There's also the MLS, but the biggest thing right now is most people find their homes through social media advertising, such as Facebook, Instagram. There's a
Really? I
lot of
find that so
people.
hard to believe.
Yeah, a lot of people are on there now, and the biggest thing is getting qualified buyers, right? Even when you get someone looking at your home on Zillow, if they're not already working with an agent, they're typically a window shopper. And they're going to come at you with lowball offers because you're a for sale by owner. Even if they're with an agent, the agent's going to be negotiating against you because that's their client and they have a fiduciary agreement with them. So the smartest thing that you can do as a homeowner is actually get your property in front of more buyers using our sales and marketing techniques. And then at the same time, letting me negotiate for you, not letting the other agent negotiate against you. And obviously, we've already talked that, you're a for sale by owner. The 3% commission's obviously a big deal to you. What I'd like to do, Beth, is show you what I could sell your home for and what you would actually walk away with if I sold your home. And as long as you walk away with a certain number, you don't really care who sells it, right?
No, I really don't.
Okay. So, Beth, I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow looking at some other homes that some of the buyers in the area are interested in. I could stop over around 4 unless 6 would work better.
No, four's good.
4 is good? Okay. And when I come over, I'm going to take a look at your home with you. I'm going to go over my marketing strategy with you so that you feel comfortable and you can actually see the differences between what you're doing right now and what I'm going to do for you. And then on top of that, I'm going to show you what I would list the property at, as well as what you would walk away with after commission, which is considered your net. And as long as those two numbers meet up, Beth, I'm just curious, would you at least be open to listing the property with me?
I don't know. You're going to have to really, do a good job of convincing me.
Okay, well, I plan on doing that tomorrow. So I'll be over tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm actually going to send you a calendar invite here. I've got your email. It's Beth Johnson at realestate.com, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, I'm going to actually send you a calendar invite just so that you have it and that you know exactly when I'm coming over. and it's going to have my contact information as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you see how we went from discovery questions to find your motivation, which was that you've already built a new house. Your pain is that you're moving in 30 days. You're looking to sell your home, and your other pain is that it's been on the market for a long period of time with no solid offers. Now, obviously, there's other discovery questions that you can ask, like how many offers have you gotten, or, how many people have you had over to look at the home. But you have to kind of gauge the conversation. If you know that you can get the appointment, you don't want to talk too much, you can talk to them about that in person. But if you feel like you need to get more information out of them to solidify the appointment, then there's obviously other questions that are strategically written in this book.
Got it.
Okay. So my goal for you now, Beth, for the rest of today until the next time we talk, is going to be to review these scripts, these for sale by owner scripts inside of the prospecting playbook in your Ultimate Listing Machine sales and mastery course. And then also just practicing going on Zillow, typing in Richmond, Virginia, looking for sale by owner only using this for sale feature up here. And then also either removing the boundary and drawing a circle around a specific area. Because say you don't want to just work Richmond and you want to work some other suburbs as well, you can zoom out and actually draw a circle around the whole area that you want to work, so you can get them all in one list.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's about all the time we've got today, guys. I'd like to thank Beth Johnson for being on the call with us today, going over for sale by owner prospecting. If you have any questions and you want to learn more, you can reach out to me at support@rapsuccess.com. Beth, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.